Some children don't lose their childhood slowly. They lose it all at once. Not because they want to grow up, but because life doesn't wait for them. This is the psychology of a child who grew up too fast. Such a child learns very early that silence is safer than speaking, that understanding others is more important than being understood, that being strong is not a choice, it's survival. While other children are learning how to play, this child is learning how to read moods. They notice tone before words. They sense tension before it explodes. They learn when to stay quiet, when to disappear, and when to act mature, even if their mind isn't ready. Psychologically, this creates hyper-awareness. The child's brain adapts. It becomes alert all the time, always watching, always calculating. This is not intelligence. This is defense. When a child grows up too fast, their brain skips stages. They don't fully experience carelessness, safety, or emotional freedom. Instead, they learn responsibility without choice. And responsibility without choice creates guilt. They feel guilty for resting, guilty for enjoying, guilty for needing help. Because deep inside, they believe, if I don't hold everything together, everything will fall apart. This is why such children often become extremely mature. People call them wise for their age. But what they're really seeing is trauma disguised as maturity. Another key psychological effect is emotional suppression. The child learns early that emotions are inconvenient. Crying doesn't solve problems. Anger creates more trouble. So they push emotions down. Over time, this creates emotional numbness. They don't know how to express feelings, not because they don't have them, but because they were never given permission to feel. As adults, these children often struggle with relationships. They overgive. They over-understand. They tolerate disrespect longer than they should. Why? Because their nervous system is familiar with imbalance. Chaos feels normal. Peace feels unfamiliar. They confuse love with responsibility. They confuse attachment with survival. Another psychological pattern appears: control. A child who grew up too fast often becomes obsessed with control. Control over emotions, control over outcomes, control over people. Not because they want power, but because unpredictability once hurt them. Control becomes safety. But here's the part most people don't talk about. These children also develop deep empathy. They can read pain without words. They understand struggle intuitively. They become listeners, protectors, quiet leaders. Yet inside, there is an exhausted child who never got to be held emotionally. Healing begins when this person realizes one thing: growing up too fast was not strength. It was adaptation. And adaptation can be unlearned. Psychology teaches us that the brain is plastic. It can relearn safety. It can relearn rest. It can relearn joy. But only when the person allows themselves to slow down, to stop being the strong one, to stop proving resilience, to stop earning love through usefulness. The child who grew up too fast doesn't need motivation. They need permission. Permission to be soft. Permission to need help. Permission to be human. Because true healing is not becoming stronger. It is finally allowing yourself to be the child you never got to be.